Hello friends, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Today we are going to talk about how to go about Salesforce Einstein Copilot Builder and Salesforce Copilot Actions. So now let's dive deep into the Einstein Copilot and Einstein Copilot Builder. So for let me just click on this Einstein Copilot, and at the detail tab you see the name of the Einstein Copilot. What is the API name that Salesforce uses? You have multiple tabs here. When you go to the actions, this is where you see all the actions that are available for this Copilot. Now, and we will talk more about this very shortly. So these are the actions. Basically, all of them are standard, and these are the ones that get created when we enabled the Copilot, and all are currently assigned to this Copilot. Then we have system messages. You see this is the default message that comes when anyone opens up the Einstein icon. That the chat bar has this change, and you can change. It's not editable because the Instant Copilot is currently active. So we have to deactivate it to change this message. So whenever the Instant Copilot comes up, this is the message we will see to greet the person. So, and if there are any error happens, then Instant Copilot will show up this error message. And again, we can change the content of it. Then we have the language settings again. And as of now, Einstein Copilot only supports English, but Salesforce has promised it will add more and more languages going forward. What is the tone like? In which tone the Copilot will talk to the person? It's casual as of now, but none of the settings are editable as of now. And so where exactly we change it? So that you see there is an open in builder. So let me just click on this, and you see this. The Einstein Copilot opens up in a builder. This is what we call Copilot builder, and it has different panels. Let's explore them one by one. So this Copilot is currently active, and you can deactivate it. And then we have different panels. The first panel is the action panel. This is where we see that what are the actions that are assigned to the Copilot, and what are the actions which are there but not yet assigned to the Copilot. So here you will see the all the actions library, and since every possible action which is available in this org is currently assigned to this Copilot, and that is why you see the library is empty. But as you go forward, we will create more and more custom actions that you will start seeing it here. So from here you can assign it, then it will start showing up here and you can test it. So let's talk about this Copilot builder. So this is a place where you, as an admin or as a developer, you will configure your Copilot, which means as you create more and more actions, you would like to test it, but before actually giving it to the actual users. So this is a place where you will do that. And so the first we will have to deactivate the Copilot, because without this we cannot remove any actions, because this Copilot is active right now, so I cannot make changes. So let's just deactivate it for now. So which means now nobody in my org is able to access the Copilot because it is deactivated. So here are the actions. Now since the Copilot is deactivated, I can actually go ahead and remove these actions, but I am not going to do that because there we have several language settings to discuss right now. Copilot only supports English, but going forward you'll see multiple options here. And the tone, the current tone is casual, which you can change it from neutral or formal. So depending on what type of clients we are serving or what type of user this Copilot will be talking to, you can set up the tone as per that. And this is the panel, is very interesting panel. When you are testing the Copilot, this is where you will be able to understand why the Copilot made a decision, so that all audio will come here. And this is where you can actually try out the Copilot. Since right now the Copilot is deactivated, I can try it out. So but now for now, let's go back one more time. So the Copilot is deactivated right now. So now you will see all these fields are editable. I can change the label name. I can change the system messages. So all the messages, greeting message that you want to change, the error message that you want to change, you can change here. Let's go back to the builder again. So I think we understand how Copilot works. It works based on the actions that are assigned to it. As of now, this Copilot has these actions. Wherever the prompt is given to the Copilot, it looks for the available actions that are available to, and it tries to understand which of the action can solve the problem. So the Copilot understands the intent and then utilizes one of the available actions to perform a task. So now, how do we understand how Copilot is making a decision? So far, let's put the same prompt again. And let's see what happens here. Again, I put the same prompt, tell me the count of opportunity records, and this time you will see the same response. So, but along with that, you will also understand how Copilot took the decision. So, the moment we said, tell me the count of opportunity record, Einstein looked at all the available actions that it has, and then it made a decision that for this one, it should utilize the query record with aggregate action, which is this one, because the query was count of opportunity records. And then it passes that query to this action. So this action is responsible for solving this kind of task where you ask for the aggregate result. Total records, max result, minimum result, all that. And that is what this Copilot has utilized. And that is how we got the answer. So let's give another prompt. Next time I'm saying this, find this record as emergency generator, and you will see that again. Copilot has utilized that standard action, identify record by name, which is this one. But because here we are saying that find the record by name, so here it understood the intent is to find the record by its name. That's why it utilizes the identity record by name. In our upcoming videos, we will also try to cover how exactly Einstein videos decided this is the appropriate and action that should utilize to solve this requirement. There are many things that is done behind the scene to help our decide that this is the most appropriate action. So this Copilot builder will definitely help us test our Copilot assign different actions and then use how Copilot is deciding which actions to use. If it is not the right action, then we might have to make different changes and then test it again before rolling out the Copilot to our actual users. So let's now go back to our presentation and let's understand standard actions. Um, so we have already saw all the different action. These are out of the box standard perform platform actions which are given by Salesforce out of the box. The moment we enable Instant Copilot, these actions are available. One of them is draft or revise email, which is used to draft an email with sales rep or service rep. Can use identify the record by name, map user input to the proper CRM entity. So we just give the record name. If it is the Instant Copilot, which will decide which object it is and where the record is. Summarize the record query, record aggregate query, and answer questions with knowledge. So these are the different standard actions available. So by this time you understand that the knowledge base or the tools that are Einstein Copilot uses are actions. But with these 6 actions, the Copilot may not be able to solve all the queries that a rep has. So for that, Salesforce allows you to create custom actions. And Salesforce also has mentioned that they will keep on rolling in more and more standard actions. But along with that, it is responsibility of devs on admin for a particular to create actions. So the more and more actions you create, your Copilot will be able to solve more and more problems. And so that is where the task of developers and admin would be to come understand they are all properly understand what are the different questions that the user of that form might ask. So based on that, they will be creating different actions. Now these actions are so-called custom actions, which are called specific to a business. These actions are actually created using flows, Apex, and prompt builder flows and Apex. We already know all devs prompt builder is something that is that has come along with this Einstein Studio. So basically, whatever the flows that you have created till now, or what the Apex classes, or what are the Apex classes, all the methods that are in your Apex classes, everything can actually become an action and can be fed to the Copilot. Then Copilot can utilize that to perform different tasks. So we have the detailed section on the custom actions apart where we will create various custom actions using Apex flows and the prompt template, and then we will see how they are working. So at this point, we have to summarize what is Einstein Copilot. It is an AI assistant which solves user query, but in Salesforce, to do it, that it requires actions. So it utilizes standard actions as well as custom actions. So there is no action available to perform a task, then the constant Copilot may not be able to. So what I mean by that is that if there is no action available, the Copilot may not be able to solve uh, the query. So let's just try to give it out in this Copilot builder. In this Copilot builder, let's ask a question. Okay, let's give a task for which there is no action as of now. So let's try to create a draft order, create a draft order for the first record. Now, as of now, Copilot has three actions available, but we are given a task for which there is no specific action available. So that is why it says that, or it seems that there was an issue creating the draft order for the first record. Let's troubleshoot and try again. But actually, we did not find any actions. So that is where we had to create an action specific to this prompt. So whenever users are going to ask, wherever the user are going to ask Copilot to generate an order, so this kind of operations are specific to business needs. And this is where we will create custom actions to handle these kind of prompts. And those actions will be tested in Copilot Builder. If it all works out, all prompts, then that will be sent to the Copilot, and the Copilot uh, will be activated so that it will work for the real users as well. So in this video, let's understand the event logging or rating in the Einstein Copilot. Pilot is currently live in the production system, and some of the sales rep are complaining that it is not giving us the desired output for its failing for certain utterances. Like whenever agent is giving certain input, the Copilot is not giving the desired output, or maybe some error message is showing. Now, you as a developer or admin would like to know what actually happened during the session. So to understand if Copilot is doing something wrong, or maybe the custom action that we have written is not able to understand the user input. So for that, every session that the user is having with Copilot that is being recorded into the system as an event log or as an audit record, this is very similar to how we log our custom code. For example, Apex code, whenever it is running and there is some error happen, you would like to log it so that support team can later refer it to understand what actually broke at that point, right? So similarly, every interaction that is happening with the agent and that instant copilot that is being recorded into the system, and to enable that, you just need to check this box on the Einstein Copilot. So let's just see that. So right now, the moment a session starts, even though we are in a Copilot builder, which means we are just trying out this Copilot, still we are having a session here. Now, when the session has been recorded, right, now we can, as we can go there to see what exactly happened here to find this event log or the audit records, just click on any of the event logs and you will see that. Let's go back to all sessions and you will see that every session is recorded. We are in this session. Now only one message came from Einstein itself. And so every session that has happened between the user and the Copilot is available here during a session. So if any happened there, that is available here. So you can actually look into that. What exactly was the error? So let's look at this session and see what exactly happened here. Session started, user responsive, sensitive data not available. Uh, there is some engagement which is happening between user and the Copilot, but again we are seeing the same message that sensitive data not available, and then Copilot wrote some messages on the UI. Still we are seeing the same message, sensitive data not available. And actually if you just go through it, you will see that every time it is saying sensitive data not available. So even though it has recorded the session, but there is nothing that actually we can read. So for that reason, that is you have to not uncheck the event log. So for it is getting event log, but for every log it is just saying that the sensitive data not available. Now if you want actual data to be available, we just need to tell this to Einstein Copilot. So this is a Einstein Copilot, and then you go to enrich log event log with conversation data is unchecked. And when it is unchecked, you can read here stored in conversation transcripts, even including the end user data in the event log for this Copilot. So once this setting is disabled, conversation data is replaced with the sensitive data not available. So till now we are trying to check this box, and that is why every session we were just saying that sensitive data was not available. So let's open it again and see. Check the boxes and let's open it again and see if it is working fine. So now a new session has started, and this time the session is with the event log. And that event log is checked currently. Now let's just ask a similar prompt again and see if there are logs which has been generated. And the event logs does take some time. If the session is currently in progress, it takes a couple of minutes to log the data to be available. And So there was a message from the Einstein that there was a user input. So the user input for these messages were showing as a sensitivity not available. But now, since we have checked that box, we should see a different information. Let's just ask a few more prompts and then we'll see the session information. Analyzing your request, figuring out the next steps, shows as working, finishing up. Still finishing up. So now you see it's not able to give us the correct response, right? So we have to understand that Copilot is still in beta. So there will be some issues that will come up. But we are hoping that Salesforce will fix these issues. But yeah, this was a standard action. It should have given us right response, but it didn't. So let us see the session right now. So for this one, the sessions would have been created. It's not yet. Let's just refresh one more time. Okay, this is the session which the most recent one. And here you will be seeing that starting a new session and the session started at this time. At this time, we are not seeing the message sensitive data not available. So we are actually able to see what the Copilot was telling to the user and what the user is giving as a response. So now, wherever any rep or any user is interacting with the Copilot, everything will be recorded as a session. So now let's say that there is some issue that has happened and the rep has reported. As a developer or admin, we can go through this session and see what was the input and given by the user and what the Copilot actually performed, and then we can fix it, isn't it? It would be because our custom action where what we've written was not given a proper description and the Copilot could understand that or have not tested it with all possible utterances of user can give. So then we can go through that session. We understand that our Copilot is not understanding the call to action for the particular task, so that we can make certain changes and then we can fix that issue. So now this is how event logging works. Every particular session with different users will be recorded here, and so that you can need to go to the correct Copilot. And now here's just one Copilot, but in the event logs you'll see all the sessions. You will see all the available sessions